Why can't I speak English? It's been quite a while since I made a video. A lot of things have happened in the past few months. If you can't tell, setup is very different from what it used to be like. I ended up moving out of this house into an apartment. Yeah, I moved out of this house, moved into a new apartment, which I thought was going to be great. It was a nice, well, nice studio, but they ended up fucking me over quite a bit. So I'm out of there, back into this house now for just a little bit, just until I get everything sorted. And yeah, nothing else has really changed. More tattoos, new dread colour, and yeah, I think that's the quickest catch up I could have given you guys. I've also got my earphones in because it is raining so much outside, so I'm like recording the audio onto my phone and then video on camera. So a lot of you guys have asked me about my dreadlocks in the past, and I knew that I was going to end up having to do this video eventually, so here it is. Here's my lovely Dreadshop video. So my dreads are fully synthetic. My hair is actually to like here roughly. I'm like looking in like the camera to like see. Yeah, I'd say maybe about here, like just a little bit above the shoulders. So I ended up getting extensions because if you've seen the videos on my Instagram, I used to have alopecia. I had real dreadlocks, tightened them too much at the roots, my hair couldn't handle it, found out that alopecia runs in my family. So that was not a good hair experience for me. But once all that happened, I'm kind of glad that it happened because to this day I would still have real dreadlocks. But I have no idea what they're doing downstairs, but it sounds like they're either killing someone or throwing a pumpkin on the floor. So as you're all aware, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm best friends with Emily Oldenhoff from Dreadshop, and oh, Emily is my life. I love her to pieces. I should actually be in London with her right now, which is kind of strange because like I'm obviously in the house and she's still in the Netherlands, so it's kind of heartbreaking. So Emily, basically I was following her on Instagram and then I found out that she was involved with Dreadshop, and it was actually one of her first sets that she did. I think it was her pumpkin dread set with the thick dreadlocks. I loved her dread sets and I was like, yeah, I'm so gonna follow this girl. I'm gonna follow Dreadshop and I'm sure that like I'll probably get their dreads at some point. So before I had, was it before? No, it was after actually. Yeah, because like before I had my first set of dreadlocks, I basically was getting the synthetic hair. I think it was henna-on hair that I first ordered in like dusty pink, and my friend Erin was doing my dreads at the time and we thought, why not add in some nice like pink extensions, because my hair was a nice like reddish pink at the time. And then after that, obviously I had the whole disaster with my hair, so I decided to start wearing my thick dreads. And then after a while, like I kind of got bored of black and I was like, I really want something else. And around this time, Emily was actually wearing the new Renetta's Locks of Love, which is actually exactly what these little babies are. And she was wearing the Go Ginger set, and I was like, I actually miss being ginger, so you know what, fuck it. I'm going back to ginger and I'm getting the Ginger Locks of Love. Which I did. I got them in the same length as these, so the 70 to 75 centimeters, which are the bum length. Because you all know I'm a sucker for long dreadlocks. And yeah, I was wearing them and it was just like, I don't even know how, like I can't even remember exactly how it came about, but basically I was messaging Emily from time to time, we were just kind of chatting, and after a while I was like taking photos of the dreads. I ordered the Midnight Locks of Love, and I started doing more videos in regards to my dreads on my Instagram. After a while, it was just obviously being a photographer. I was like, I'm gonna take photos of my dreads, things like that. From there, basically, me and Emily just started to click. We clicked beforehand, but it was more that sense of like we had something major in common, of the fact that she was working with Dreadshop. This was before she was actually offered her job. This is while she was doing her placement with them. So she was involved with Dreadshop. I was wanting to get involved with Dreadshop. So we kind of just came together and we're like, you know what? Let's do this. We're both photographers. We're both models. We're both involved with Dreadshop. Let's just work together on projects. Then from there, recently I was sent this beautiful new colour that we got called Wild Ocean. If you can see, it's like a nice dark brown into a nice like teal kind of bluish green. For anyone that knows what I'm like, I have always wanted this colour of dreads. Like, my natural dreads, if I was to ever have them again, were literally going to be this exact colour. And as soon as they released it, Emily was like, girl, we have a colour that we need you to model and you're going to absolutely love it. And then of course she sent me a photo of them and I nearly died. Like, these are the most perfect dreadlocks for me. I absolutely love them, and I know I'm going to end up modelling other ones in future when we get new colours, but I think these are going to be like my default colour, because honestly, like, they go with so much of my clothes as well. My clothes are always either black or white, so any colour goes with it. But like, I don't know, I just love them so fucking much. So yeah, a lot of people have asked me about the dreads, and these are the Wild Ocean Locks of Love in 70 to 75 centimeters bum length. A lot of people would like usually do, like, I know Emily does the same, she would do like single-ended and double-ended throughout. My hair, because I have an undercut underneath and I don't like having like a thin lot of dreads, like I'd rather have like quite a lot. I've got, I think it's 24 double-ended, so roughly about like 48 dreadlocks in my hair. All double-ended, I never use single-ended, although I feel like I will eventually go back to using single-ended because it's easier to put them up into like updos and things like that. I usually just wear them with, like, you can see here that I usually put some of the top ones, like all the ones from around my face, just into a ponytail at the back, just so that they're not like whacking me in the face all day while I'm in work. My dreads are getting caught to me. As for putting them in, it's basically just braiding. Like, I don't know how to describe it because everyone has a different technique for putting them in. But I know with myself, I would usually, because I use double-ended, I would usually, it's hard to explain without having a dreadlock to like hold, but I would basically take the double-ended and I would hold it just against the part, like separate my two strands of hair, put it in the middle, wrap the hair around first and pull it tight, and then just simply braid it through. It's hard to explain just like by like talking about it, but we do have a load of videos on how to install the dreadlocks, so I've put the Dreadshop YouTube link in the description. Go check that out if you're wanting to know more about installation, because honestly I don't have any spare dreads on me to be able to show you guys what I mean, and I'm actually leaving the house soon, so I don't really want to take a dread out and then put it back in again, because it does take a bit of time and a lot of patience. Time scale for putting them in. This is where you need to have a lot of patience. It actually takes me roughly like 3 to 4 hours to put mine in. Now keep in mind I get distracted easily and I take a lot of breaks. So yeah, it usually takes me like 3 to 4 hours to put them in, and I get distracted like very easily. I also like always end up putting a TV show on or a movie on whenever I'm putting them in, so sometimes I'll get distracted and watch like a full episode of Catfish and realize I haven't put a dread in since like the start of the episode. They're actually easy enough to put in, it's just more trying to section your hair so that then you get it all like even rather than it being like all over the place. But once you've got it all sectioned, I would usually section first, put each section up into a ponytail, and then within each section put where each dread's going to be into the ponytail, and just to like kind of section off like the exact amount of hair that you want for the dreads, because if you're just going to go in and do it, you're not going to know how many dreads you're going to fit into that layer. You're going to get a lot of like stray hairs that you're wanting to be in other dreads into this dread, and it doesn't work out well unless you section it. So my tip is always section it. Get someone to look at the back of your head as well, make sure that it is sectioned properly. If you do feel like you aren't able to like do the back of your head yourself, maybe get someone there to help you. Like I would usually get my mother to like have a look and make sure it's all okay, get her to do like the ones around the back. As for like the maintenance of my dreads, a lot of people would usually ask like, can you clean them, what way do you clean them? There's actually a product that I really recommend. It's not an ad, I promise, but we do sell it in Dreadshop, and you can either get it in the salon or order it online. Everyone knows I'm a sucker for the smell of Nike Champa. We actually do some like nice like cleansing sprays. So I would usually use this lovely Dolly Locks Nike Champa spray in, I think I got, yeah, 236 milliliters. You can have two options. Either use it while you're in the shower, so while your hair is wet, just spray it onto the dreads and just make sure that it's all in each dread, and then just wash it out after like 5 to 10 minutes. Or you can also do what I would sometimes just do, like obviously whenever I'm in the shower I would use it, but if I'm just say in a rush, rather than using like most people would use like dry shampoo or whatever, instead with dreadlocks I would usually just spray this onto like my dreads, just like spray it dry and just leave it in. Like I wouldn't bother washing it out, it's not a problem for them. It's just kind of to keep them clean. It also gives a really good smell. Like it smells so good. As for like little stray hairs, like everyone always asks me, like my dreads are pretty neat. Like you can see some like stray hairs in the middles of it, which is obviously natural. My hair is obviously gonna start coming out of it. But what I would usually suggest is I don't risk putting crochet hooks in these. You can do it, I just don't trust myself, because if you know me, I'm that idiot where I'll end up messing it up. Like I put a slit in my eyebrow this morning and it's uneven. I don't trust myself with anything. But what I do use, and I'm kind of running out of, need to get more of, is also same as my lovely Dolly Locks cleansing spray. We also sell a Dolly Locks tightening spray, which I also have in the scent of Nike Champa. And all I would do is each morning just shake it up, spray onto my dreads, and then just palm roll each dread. And you can see already it's starting to make dreads just a little bit more neat. The stray hairs just kind of stick down to the dread. Alternatively, you can also like palm roll them and then get a crochet hook for any hairs that won't stick down, but I just don't trust myself doing that, and honestly I feel like if I did it would look too neat. It wouldn't look like they're natural. So I would usually just leave some little loose hairs, make it look a bit natural, but I would always palm roll each morning just to make sure that like there's not too many loose hairs coming out. How many dreads would you need is always another question I get asked. As I said, I have roughly like 24 double-ended dreadlocks in my hair. Each pack comes with 8 double-ended dreads. I should know this. It depends on how much hair you have, really. Like with mine, like I said, like half of my hair is shaved, so I've got like my hair actually comes to like just above my ear, so that's about as much as I have shaved. So it's literally just about 3 layers that I have to do of dreads. But if I didn't, it would be probably about 6 or 7 layers. So I use roughly 4 packets, like 3 or 4 packets. What I did was I would section off my hair. Like even if I don't have the dreadlocks, I would section off my hair, put in bubbles of where you want each dreadlock to be. Count how many dreads you're going to need, and then from there always order more than what you actually need, because I have made so many mistakes in the past where I put an extra dread in a bottom layer and I've ended up running out of dreadlocks. Always order more than what it is you actually need. Luckily I have ended up getting used to exactly what way I'm layering it, so I've gotten to the point where I know exactly how many, I know exactly how to do it. But when you're starting off, I would always suggest if you need 20, don't order like 18, don't order like whatever, like you have to, obviously it's 8 in a pack, so you're lucky in that sense that it would end up being 24, so you'd have those extra 4. But I would always suggest, like if you're the same as me where you have like that half cut, I would suggest that instead of ordering 3 packs you order 4, because it will depend on the thickness of your hair, how much hair you have, and yeah, I would always suggest order more than it is that you think you'll actually need. As for washing dreadlocks, like everyone's like, oh, like can you actually wash them, or do you just have to spray them with that stuff? No, make sure you wash your dreadlocks, because the amount of people that I know who have had dreadlocks for years, like both real and synthetic, and they've ended up not washing their hair for a while, and the amount of fungus that's grown in the inside of their dreadlocks because they haven't washed them is disgusting. I know a girl who ended up shaving off her dreadlocks and she thought, I'll keep these, and then it means that if I ever want to get my dreads back again, I can just like dread in my old hair as extensions. We ended up shaving her hair off and the inside of it literally had mold growing in it. I'm not going to name her to embarrass her, but she knows exactly who she is and she's more than likely watching this video, so hi, I just thought I'd embarrass you a little bit. So washing dreadlocks is actually a lot, like everyone thinks like you just don't have to wash them. Honestly, it's definitely better to wash them. It's normal hair, like I don't see why there should be a difference in not washing like your dreadlocks but washing like natural straight hair. There's no difference. You need to stay clean, guys. I would usually just wash them like a normal shower, or if you've got like too many dreadlocks or you just want to like let your dreadlocks sit for a bit, I would sometimes get like a basin, fill it with water, fill it with apple cider vinegar as well, because it's so good for getting the grease out of hair, and basically just sit your dreads in those for a while. It'll let all the dirt just kind of soak out of it. You'll see a change of color in your water. Make sure you do not keep using that water. Make sure every time you lift your hair out of it, you change the water, because you do not want to just have your hair soaking in that dirt. Like, what's the point in having it soaking in the dirt if you're just going to be like, you know. Washing dreads is honestly the easy part. I feel like afterwards is honestly like I always feel like afterwards my hair is like super heavy because the dreads just take in all the water. But like instead of like, I always think, right, my hair is always behind my back, right, so I'm always like this. I always think my head's straight like this. No, it's usually like that, and I just don't notice because of the way that I'm like making my eyes look down. So it will be heavy. That's basically what I'm trying to get across. Decorating dreadlocks with thread. Do it, like completely do it. I'm not saying not to do it because I've done it before, I still do it, but I would always suggest that whenever you have thread on your dreadlocks, replace it each week, because the dirt that gets caught to the thread, also the way that the thread sits on your hair, it will end up making like weird bumps in your dreads from it like sitting on it. It's like whenever you put a hair bubble around your wrist and then you take it off and there's like the hair bubble marks. That's exactly what it's like with thread for dreadlocks. Like you'll just see like little like bumps here and there. Like you can see some of my dreads here are a lot thinner than the other parts, and that's just because of the thread that I used to put on it just sitting in it. That and beads as well. I would always suggest that obviously take your beads out whenever you're washing your dreadlocks, but take them out for at least a day, like during the week, because it will not only weigh them down and make them a lot looser, but they will also just create little bumps and make it thinner in certain places. So I would definitely suggest, if you are going to decorate your dreads in any way, make sure you take your beads out at least once a week. replace your thread at least once a week. I would also make sure that you palm roll it before you put the thread back in, because then you'll hopefully get rid of some of the bumps. But apart from that, decorating your dreads, I honestly am so for it. Like, mine aren't decorated at the moment, but I'm hopefully going to get some thread while I'm in town today, and maybe get some beads if I can find some that are big enough. If I can't find any beads, I'll probably end up ordering one of our sets from Dreadshop, because we do have a Pimp Your Dreads kit and it is amazing. We sell thread, we sell beads, leather beads, wooden beads, anything. Like, anything you can think of, it is more than likely in our website. Anything that you can't wear with dreadlocks is honestly like a rare question that's asked for me, but it is asked, and actually, yes, this is the most difficult part of having dreads. I have so many jackets that I cannot wear the hood. Like, I can wear them obviously, but I can't put the hoods on. Like, my dreads are so thick that I find it hard. Luckily, I bought this fleece from Topshop the other day, and luckily, like, you can see how much I struggle to get it up. But luckily it actually does go up and it looks so super cute and I'm in love with it. But apart from that, like, hoods are so hard to wear. Hats are the same as well. Like, I feel like beanies, like, every beanie that I try to put on just doesn't sit well for me. We do have a loose beanie for dreadlocks in Dreadshop, so go check that out as well. We also have some dread tubes. We have like hair bands, hair bubbles. The best thing that has ever been invented is spiral locks. I have lost mine and I'm so upset about it, but I'm gonna order a new one. Spiral locks is literally like, I don't even know how to describe it. It is the best hair tie that you will ever use. It's just like wire, like with obviously like a nice like pattern around it, and it's just, oh, it's so pretty. They're on the website, but you can literally do anything with them. Like, I'm gonna put a link to the videos for all of our updos and you will see like the spiral locks being used in some of them. But honestly, like, it's the best thing. It keeps my dreads nice and tight, and it works well if you have thick dreads as well, because obviously you can't really get hair bubbles, like normal hair bubbles that we like fit over them, but spiral locks has got you sorted. Honestly, best product I've ever came across, and yeah, we sell them at Dreadshop. But yeah guys, hopefully like this has been helpful for you guys. If there is anything that I've missed, don't hesitate to send me a message on Instagram. But if you need any of our lovely cleaning products, like our lovely dolly locks, which is honestly the best product I could ever recommend for you guys, go check out the Dreadshop website. It's in the description below. But yeah guys, subscribe, turn on that bell notification, and I will be back with some more content as soon as possible. We all know that I'm very bad with time scales, so I'm not going to promise you that it's going to be, oh, a video next week, because I said that last time and it's like 3 months later. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do have any questions, like I said, drop me a message and I'll see you soon. Bye!